Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines and the Commander-in-Chief of all Armed Services, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Thank you. Kindly sit down. Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Interior and Local Government Secretary Eduardo Año, and the other members of the Cabinet, Senator Francis Tolentino, Senator Bongo, Senator Ronald De La Rosa, PNP Chief Police General Oscar Albayalde, the officers and enlisted personnel of the Philippine National Police, fellow workers in government, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to join you in this special occasion as we mark the 118th years of police service in the Philippines. Today, we commemorate the birth of the Philippine Constabulary on August 8 in 1901. Organized by the Second Philippine Commission to maintain law and order during the American period, the PC served as the chief law enforcement and is the predecessor of our current police organization. The Philippine Constabulary was eventually replaced in the Philippines by the National Police on January 29, 1991, pursuant to Republic Act 6975. Almost 3 decades later, the Philippines has evolved to become a highly capable and effective community service-oriented agency. Your strong campaign and operations against criminality, illegal drugs, illegal gambling, and other forms of terrorism, as well as the efforts of internal cleansing in the PNP are truly commendable. The entire Filipino nation is truly grateful to your almost 193 PNP personnel who are currently deployed in the national headquarters, police regional offices across the country, and the various Philippine support units. As we mark the significant milestone, enjoin the entire organization to control its efforts to enforce the rule of law, prevent and control corruption, and maintain peace and order, and ensure public safety and internal security. In all of these undertakings, I call upon you to keep your integrity intact as you uphold the highest ethical and professional standards in public service. Take inspiration from our awardees today for their exemplary work and selfless dedication to duty. Now, more than ever, we need to rebuild and sustain the confidence of the Filipino people in our police force. Be assured of strong government support in strengthening the capabilities of the PNP in securing and ensuring the welfare and protection of your personnel. With your undaunted commitment and exercise of your duty and with the active participation of our citizens in our shared task of nation building, I am confident that we will achieve a safer, stronger, and more peaceful future for our people. Before I give my salute to end this program, let me dwell on some of the burning issues of our country today. I remember when I was a member of Congress, most of the police directors of the previous years I don't know what was eating the guys at the time, but they recommended the dismissal of 28. Almost those, a lot of them, or almost all, who passed the portals of being a chief of police and a city police director. So when I got down from my car in Congress, I was a congressman at the time, a lot of these guys, the young who are now your officers, most of them were there. And I was told that they were ordered dismissed by the ombudsman for reasons not really very clear to me until now. What is very glaring was that the Committee on Public Order and Safety, of which I was the chairman at the time, Roylo Goles was the chairman, summoned my police officers for operating a mining operation in Dualwal. And there was this side issue of a mayor's son was shot by the policemen because of a drug confrontation. Since the father was a member of that committee, yung issue about the mining was combined with the issue about the shooting incident of the son of this politician, who was clearly a drug pusher. So I was talking to, I don't know where's, pala alam mo, time to visit Villaroman. I was also there. Si Akop and the rest of the guys in another charge sheet. So when I was informed by the policemen about their being put to task for owning mining operations, I was kind of aghast, and I raised my right hand to talk first. And I said, what is our business here today? What is the agenda? Sabi ng committee secretary, sir, this is the issue of policemen operating mining activities in Diwalwal. So what about it? And he said, listen very carefully because I will connect this to the present. Sabi ko, so what about? Sir, they are police officers and 2 army men. So what's the beef? And I was told that simply for operating in mining. So my first statement before the Goles committee was that, Your Honor, I think all of these policemen in front of us are all Filipinos. And they should be entitled to partake of whatever planet Earth inside the bowels of the earth. And it is open to exploitation, and it does not limit it to any particular group of citizens. It is open to everybody, including the police. Why should we deprive them of maybe getting rich, having money? And true enough, 3 of those who were originally there are multimillionaires. And I'm happy. I said, you know, for as long as there is an application which is validly issued and there is no issue of corruption at all, and that you do not oppress the other operators by the reason of your office as a peace officer, we should not be talking about this. They are as much as we are free to do any business as long as it is above board. I do not have any problem with that. Now, let me say this to you now. There are allegations that police generals retired are into the STL, Lotto, and whatnot. I said, you don't have any problem with me. If it's a bidding, you participate. As long as it is not rigged in your favor and you secure it, complying with the laws, no corruption, I will not begrudge you. If you have friends or millionaires and would finance a corporation and you're an incorporator, I don't see any reason why you should not be in that business. Ang hinihingi ko lang naman is, walang gapangan, no oppression or pressure. And if there's a bidding and you win it, by all means, but as a part of your honor, delicadeza, ask yourself to be assigned somewhere where you are not operating or a participant or an incorporator of a corporation doing business in your area. Ayan lang naman, delikadesa yan. Pangit kasi tignan, ikaw ang chief of police dyan, it's operating. You look for somewhere else. The Philippine is too big. And well, of course, I never really like gambling. I don't gamble. But the fact is, if I create a vacuum and nature hates one, there will always be another activity that would take advantage of that organized people. For example, in gambling, the betting stations and the runners and the sellers, it is gambling. I said, I do not gamble. But in the first place, I do not like it. But there's a law which allows it. Then my only advice to you is, lumayo ka muna or you invest in some other province. Do not oppress your competitors, else they will shout foul, and then you will drag me into the picture. Kung malinis lang ang negosyo ninyo, if it's clean, you don't deprive government of money due to the country and the people, okay sa akin. And I'm addressing myself to all. As of now, I allowed Lotto because it is a clean, it's really run by a machine and, the combination is done electronically. Yung others, STL, I'm trying to figure out the best way. As long as there is, I said, no corruption in the awards, and you do not use your public office to intimidate or to strike fear with your other competitors, I see no reason why you cannot be an incorporator of a Ewan ko, pag-isipan ko muna yung STL. But Lotto I gave the green light and said, sige. And that is my advice, not only to you, peace officers, but also the military, and for that matter, any government employee who is a citizen of this country. We should not be deprived ourselves of that activity which can contribute to our general. Gambling per se is not good. But if it is allowed by law, then I cannot be more popish than the Pope. May batas eh. Ang hingi ko lang, wag lang, do not shortchange government. Talagang mawawala yan altogether. Now, if I can have my way, meron akong plano, hindi ko muna sabihin ngayon, but this will guarantee that the government will have its rightful share. And we can always open your books, and I can always ask the policemen and the military what's happening there. Ganun lang. If it is a legit operation, according to the requirements of the law allowing that gambling activity, and there's money circulating, even if it's gambling, I know religious sectors and all, they do not like it. I do not like it too. But the problem, if it is allowed by law, you can only regulate, and you can regulate clean. Yun lang, hini ko, wala nang iba. Wala akong ano, yan basta yung gambling na yan. So there's the casino. In my place in Davao City, there is one, and itong Sabong. Ito namang mga lasto-lasto, huwag na ninyong pakialaman yan. It's a neighborhood activity. Tapos paghulihin ninyo, kagaya experience sa Davao, yung nagkukolekta ng bets, pusta, mahihirap yan. Minsan hinuli ng pulis, may anak dala, nagka-breastfed pa, tapos may dalaw pangathatak, umiiyak, kasi nandiyan yung pulis kasama, kasi hinuli. Magpatay na lang kayo ng drugista dyan. Pakialaman yung... Kasi ako ang magbayad ng... It was Bong. Sabi ko, Bong, bayaran mo yung piyansa. Sabi ko sa polis, pag naghuli kayo uli, kayo ang bayad ng piyansa. Ha? Yung mga gano'n na... Those are pastime neighborhood activities. Huwag lang pumasok ang sindikato. Pag ang lasto hawakan with people who are known to be gamblers and professional manipulators, you have to intervene. Yung mga machines dyan, ano ninyo, wala tayong makiibigay ng trabaho eh. And besides, sabi ko, dito sa STL Lotto, there is already an existing organization. You create a vacuum, drugs will come in. Yan ang mahirap. So I cannot be a humbug and say, I will do it. I will kill the STL or the wetting that goes with it, or so ang sabi ko sa inyo, ganito na lang. I will allow everybody, every Filipino, Walang, basta, maybe I will put that agency under the office of the President. Tapos yung magba-award ng bidding, Justice Secretary, Wendell Abisado sa is the budget officer. Yung alam ko talaga na mga tao na si Wendell, hindi man ito nagsusugal. Pastor to. Secretary Abisado is a pastor. Sino yung mga pare mo? Hindi naman siguro nagdada. Okay yung akong narinig. I will give it to a committee na tingnan ko na hindi nakukorrupt. Pero basta wala lang corruption, no under the table deal. Come on. And to the citizens listening now, you can help me stamp out corruption by being just assertive. So kung may hingiin sa'yo yung Bureau of whatever, land registration, LTO, kung ano dyan, mga clearances, pati sa inyo yung police clearances. Better come up with an electronic thing there. I do not want to see people coming back and forth, queuing there, and sometimes it is not there. Bigay ninyo yung mga clearances ng mga tao, mga Pilipino. Sino man kumukuha ng clearance? Yung pupunta ng abroad, pupunta ng ano, those are on the, no offense intended, yun yung mga nasa baba. Ano galawin yun? Kaya ng customs. You don't have to open all the bags there, especially if it's a OFW. Ano mo lang mabili niya mga regalo nila, mga kunting perfume. Ano yan? That's too small. The corruption, it is up high in government. It is where they cheat government by the billions. Kita mo ito si Mighty King. Alam mo kung bakit naniniwala ako si Paildon Malines? Because it was Paildon ang nagbulong sa akin na may 3 bodega ng sigarilyo, peke ang stamps. Sabi ko, liberahin mo. So, our offer was, okay, sabi ko. Whatever the finance people would say, you just pay. And Dominguez, talagang stricto yan. Pero gusto rin ng pera because he is responsible for looking for the money. You pay us 40 billion. Hindi daw kaya. Well, you can do it by installments. You pay us 38 billion. Yun is just one stroke. We earned billions by just raiding a warehouse using fake stamps sa cigarettes. Nandito ang laro, customs. Customs, they will lose about 64 of them. But they've been there for 39 years, 30 years. I'm sorry. You are there in the list of corrupt. You have so many cases there. You better go or I will really pursue the case criminally. You not only lose your pants, but you lose everything, including being a dishonorable employee of this government. Ngayon ang anong ko, ganito yan eh. Kung yung may mga negosyo, and they think that they are feeling generous, I may give something to you, Christmas. Ako wala akong ano. Yang tawag itong yawa na ito, yung Kasi tawag anang sa inyo yan, binigay ko sa inyo yan, hindi nyo alam ano yan, yawa. Kasi tawag mo? No, not the Perian, yung masa barangay, yung parang no, yung machine. Di ba yung karera na sa inyong EOR, inyo naman yan. Wala mo. Wala akong pakiram. Sige, bigay mo sa pulis. Hindi mo rin talaga mapigilan. So, alam mo, yung pulis, even sa pamilya nila, hirap yan. I know because I have been mayor for 23 years. I was a prosecutor for 8 years. Sinographer ko noon, asawa ni Wendell. She became a judge, but she passed away about 3 years ago. Kung alam ko yung laro, so basta wala lang lukuhan. If you are just content of maybe you want 50,000 and you are able to get something like 25 or 20, be content. Do not allow your greed to run away with all the, alam mo na, kalukuhan. So yan lang akin. Hindi ko kayo ipitin. Basta kung bigyan kayo, tanggapin ninyo. It is not bribery because it cannot be bribery because it is allowed by law. What I mean, if there is generosity in them, sabi ng anti-graft, you cannot accept gifts. Kalukuhan. I know that especially the police, if you are able to solve a crime, and you guys from Davao, alam ninyo yan. If you are able to solve a crime and the family would like to be generous to you or would nurture a feeling of gratitude for what you accomplished, then by all means accept it. Wala akong ano. But to ask, that is something else. Mahirapan tayo dyan. I'm telling you to relay this message sa mga tao. Na ganon, just rindahan mo yung urine in the, yung walang katapusan. Look at the police officers who were involved in drugs. You, a police officer of the Philippine National Police, general kayo, tapos papasok kayo nan. Yan ang mahirap. Do not ever commit the mistake. It's a worldwide problem. There's a global war there. Huwag kayong pumasok dyan. Kasi sinabi ko na, I have said it before in every forum, and I've said it, I'll say it now again for the end time. Do not destroy my country during my watch. Do not destroy the young Filipinos of our tomorrow. They will be the ones running the show when we are gone. We are not rich, and that is why I said, I'll give you a leeway. You retire at the age of 56. Most of your children are still in college. And that is why I'm doing everything to give you. Actually, I'm selling. I will give to you itong grounds. You better look for another campus. There, yung bagong ano ninyo. Total police kayo, military, you go out of the urban areas. It's not profitable. Then, you have the land. Gusto kong ibigay sa inyo, pero ayaw ni Dominguez. Dominguez wants it done just like the GSIS, the government insurance system. So inyo yan, ibigay ko sa police pati sa armed forces. Then just like Taguig, you can lease the land. It's all prime lands. Yun ang ano ninyo. So that an ordinary police can send his children, and if that child would become a lawyer, which is 10 years in the waiting, doctor 10 years rin, makapag-aral ka ng anak mo. You will be earning billions there. And Sonny Dominguez does not want to give it to you. I do not, he might not have the enough trust, but I trust him because he's a banker. And it's a good one. May sarili kayong Jesus. So just wait, and that will come before I leave the office. Gaya ng kampo ninyo, maghanap ako ng pera. You have been receiving a lot of assistance. Kayong mga pulis. Tama yung sinabi ni General Bayalde. Bilyon ang binitawan ko sa inyo. Just to acquire the intelligence capability and everything. I leave that message in your heart that I'm not trying to be, I do not play God. I am not God. But there are things in this world connected with your performance of duty. You just strike a happy balance there. And you will not have a problem with me. But yung drugs, I made a promise, if you destroy my country. Alam mo, alam ninyo yan eh. Itong pamilya, husband, wife, 3 children. If this guy falls down, the entire family becomes dysfunctional. So the wife, with no income, no nothing, children have stopped schooling, they go to Malaysia to seek employment. To the Middle East, they go to this fly-by-night recruitment and they find hell there. Kaya, you know, from a simple, not to mention the family, the victims, there is no count. Now, I'd like to ask, dito naman lahat, we're all here. I'm being heard, I suppose, by the entire Philippines. I really do not know what's the thing about the numbers we're doing. Every day, there's in the government channel, 8888. My briefer for that day includes, or it is even in the first page, of the drug cases all throughout the country, at least those that were investigated by the police. And I will have to assume that you have due performance of duty. And every day you consider A. Those A, close in parentheses, arrested, Rodrigo Duterte A. Then the number or quantity of Cebu. That AA is arrested. The N is neutralized. We do not even know if he was killed or he was neutralized in the sense that he was rendered inutile and could no longer play the game. Yan ang ano ko, kasi ang tataka ako, why is this stupid human rights? Where do all of the killings are charged to us? We are bound by our oath of office. I go by government records of what you report to me and I publish it. Every day it's there and they can make a count. In one day, there's not even one death. That is all the crime incidents involving drugs. Puro arrest, then neutralize, then arrest. Look at I am bound by the reports of the Philippine National Police and the military. I cannot get my facts from the security agencies, from private persons. Worse from the... So we have said we have killed about 5. Well, I'm sorry. That is how it is, because they are really armed to kill. How many policemen have I lost? Okay? In Marawi, it was not a revolution outright or a rebellion. The fighting or the roko started when the police went to with the warrant of arrest sa isang maote leader. Then they refused to surrender, even with the warrant. So the police retreated because of the superior firepower. So the next day, when the Marines went in, all of them who were crossing the Pande River they all died. So there was fighting. What started? What was the reason? Was it because they wanted to remove a portion of our territory to be their own? No. I've been telling you since I became mayor, Marawi is the laboratory of the Philippines. By the seizure there and confiscation by tons, they do not pounds. So we had to act, and in the process, we had to go to war. It was a drug war. I lost so many soldiers and policemen there. Human rights. You parlay that kind of lies worldwide. And you are Filipinos. Give us something which we can start toward on. Where and how, by what means, you start with those questions. And I said, if you see a person, a dead carcass there, and say it's killed by, you just assume na droga yan. We go by the official records investigated by the police. Those cases were investigated. It's there published every day. And you can hardly find a confrontation or an arrest, in the process of arresting. It's about only 2-3% every day. The rest are really neutralized, arrested. So I am not defending you. I'm just telling the truth. And I said, go ahead, perform your duty in accordance with law. For the basic course of the ordinary police officer, he has 2 years of lecture. When I was mayor of Davao City, I married early. And so there was not enough to go around with money. I had to teach criminal law, criminal evidence, criminal procedure in the academy. Since 1973, I used to give, I'm still giving special lectures now. I have, if you just listen, I have a matrix, and that is all that you would need in your entire life as a peace officer. Find some time, you assemble here, and I will present a PowerPoint. If you will listen very carefully, that is what police work is all about. Well, it'll take about an hour, 30 minutes. Do not, never mind the books. but even the lawyers and judges do not agree with the interpretation of the provisions there. Just listen to me. I'll give you a lecture in the eyes of a public prosecutor. Yun lang. Pagbigyan lang ninyo ako ng panahon ninyo. I'm sorry I overshot my... I didn't even realize that I failed to bring my watch. So, congratulations on your anniversary. Happy birthday. I said, stay clean. And if you have to go to business to improve your lives, go ahead. Every Filipino is entitled to it. It is not limited to the already rich and the guys who were there historically in the beginning, and it was all illegal. Now there's an illegal, then another one, they put in tandem the illegal. If you can assure me that there will be no corruption, maybe I will consider. But if I am not satisfied, and if the big guys are still there to manipulate the game, I will not allow it. I'm sorry. Lahat naman to, all of us, the order is to protect government interest. Nothing follows. We are stuck to that oath. What is the oath? To protect the people and to preserve the republic. You cannot preserve a nation by allowing the drugs to swallow our children. As I said, if you do that, I will kill you. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you the truth. Do not do it. If you want to stop, just drop it. Just like the communist guys, if you want to surrender, just drop it. Drop your gun and go to the nearest police or military camp. And I will give you a house, provide you with the skills, test that is there. During the time that you are learning the skill, I will pay you. Libre pagkain. I'll take care of your food until such time that you're able to make it on your own. But to the police, you are all handsome. Do not be ugly. It is not good. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President.